So, we are supposed to be our brothers and sisters keepers. This is our business. If we are going to really stand our ace in this generation and empower our young people for generations to come, we need to really collectively, with one voice, do something. Get your information right. You have to know the ABCD of HIV. That you don't get it by shaking somebody's hand or by eating in the same plate or by sharing a hug with them. That you need to love people that are suffering. You need to show them love. That is why every single day I've been home. If I'm not in Port Harcourt running around at one event, I've been on the television a couple of times talking about this issue. I'm at the Bolivia Hospital watching what the nurse are treating the people, how the doctors are treating the people living with HIV. And they know me there. In fact, they told me as soon as I come, they said, everybody sick of the HIV woman is here. Because we are called to show compassion and love for one another. The Bible says, love covers a multitude of sin. And what affects one affects all. So HIV is our business. Until you know that HIV is your business, is my business, you are really not going to do what you are supposed to do and be empowered to speak up. If you see people living with HIV, protect them, love them, encourage them, pray for them. They need us. Because I tell people, when I held down living with the pastors, I took the bishop for the first time to Bolivia Hospital. Because I said, Bishop, I said, shame on you, Bishop. You've been here in Bold. The highest cases of the virus is coming from here. We have the largest population of HIV and patients in Bold clinic, and you don't even know the place. I took him there, and he saw things for himself, and he apologized to me. He said, from now on, I will be working with you. Because I have been serving God in error. Because a lot of us are serving God in error. Because I believe that Jesus was here today. I see HIV/AIDS as leprosy in the days of Jesus. And if Jesus was here today, Jesus would be where the AIDS patients are. So why are we isolating them? Why are we rejecting them? Why are we treating them like they don't matter? Jesus Christ shed his blood for them too. So please, we all have to change our attitude here. Like Dr. Francis has said, AIDS does not respect anybody, does not discriminate. If you are free today, you better pray to stay free. Because tomorrow, little mistake, you might be a victim. But you have to pray that if you are free of the virus, that you remain free. You know, they are teaching you how to stay free. Because this is a virus that you don't have to get. And that is the painful part. The other day I was in the hospital. In fact, it was on Wednesday I was in the hospital. I saw this young girl, beautiful young girl. You can still see the beauty on her face. But she was a skeleton with a protruded stomach. She could barely stand up. She was by the door to the intestine department. I asked her, I said, what are you doing? As soon as I saw her, I knew this was an AIDS case. So I asked the mother, I said, where have you been See before come in, they will know if you are ready for your medicine. They will give you the medicine. Stay consistently on your medicine because lack of consistency can also cause resistance. Stay consistently, and if you are negative, plan to stay negative and educate other people, educate your household, educate your wife, educate your husband, your daughters, and your son. But I'm here in solidarity with you today that we are in this together. This is one area that God has called me and has given me the passion for this cause. Because I don't want to see the next person infected with HIV or dying of HIV or AIDS, So please, be saved. Be saved. The Bible says that people perish because of lack of knowledge. But the doctor has said, we don't utilize knowledge. Cannot empower us. So use what you are learning for your self-empowerment and empower your community. Because we have to stay alive. If we are going to be the next governor, the next chairman, the next councillor, the next president, we have to stay alive. A dead man cannot contest for any position. It's only the living. Thank you very much today. I thank the organizers of this event. Please continue. I'm with you. I have an office in Bowie. Please visit there. The office has over 50 materials on all kinds of HIV-related, information. Over 50. Because every time I come home, in fact, I've brought over, since I started my campaign in the early 90s, I've brought home over 1 million information. So I've brought home to educate our people, to empower our people, to wipe out AIDS from our family and our community, and from this generation and generations to come. Thank you very much. And you know where it please visit there. The place is equipped with computers and everything. Everything you want on HIV is there.
Thank you. Former head of the clinic by agriculture, district by agriculture. Who would have to that for her again? Yes. Education. Community development and social responsibilities. It's a challenge where it is. Can we put our hands together for hope by this act? Hello. Operator, can you reduce the echo and give it pause? The echo is so much. I don't like shouting behind the microphone.
Hi! Go and take that one. A lot of them in that place. Go and do that one.
Get the bigger one, inject them, get the other one.
Wow, this is impressive. You are handy.
Handy?
Wow.